here in Parnell Park, Dublin, and the crowds are gathering here for what should be an enthralling contest. Naas, fresh from winning the Kildare County Championship against Kilmacud, and they've just won the Dublin County Championship. Quarter-final of Leinster. There can only be one winner today. Hopefully it'll be a great game, and hopefully we'll come out the right side. Here with Kev and Pat, looking forward to today's match, Leinster quarter-final. Kev, it's actually only 10 months ago, less than 10 months ago, that we played Kilmacud. It was January the 8th in a Leinster final. It doesn't seem like, it seems like a long time ago.
Yeah, cheers, yeah, it does. Hopefully now the result is different this time. But no, look, it seems a good way to go, all right. But I suppose it dragged on a good bit last year as well with the COVID and all that stuff. So look, we'll be better prepared this time, hopefully. And
yeah, I suppose that's the big question: is in 10 months, how have these two teams fared? Have they gotten better, or where? Obviously, they've both done well. They've both won their county championships.
Yeah, look, well, Kilmacud, they're around. Look, the last good few years, 7 or 8 years, they've always been fairly good. We've been sort of away. It's only really the last 3 or 4 years we're starting to get going. But look, we'll have a lot more experience this time than we did last year. We were missing a few players that day as well. So, look, hopefully last year's campaign in Leinster stood to us today now.
Yeah, good stuff. Pat, last year Naas beat Sarsfields in that final, and that was a shock on the day. Sarsfields are big favourites. This Naas team have come back and they've put a statement out, at least in Kildare football: we're not going away. They defended their title. They won the county championship again. That must count a lot for this group of players.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, at if you go through Naas last year, they were the underdogs when they won the county title.
Yeah.
But this year they've shown resiliency, they've shown commitment, guile, against the wall. They've come out the far side, and there's a lot of gut and character to this team, you know what I mean? If you look at the Celbridge game they were up against it, you look at the Sarsfield game, even go back to the preliminary in Moorfield, they were up against it, and they came through, so, there's good character in this bunch, you know what I mean? Now they're up against a great team, Kilmacud, the big talking point obviously is Shane Walsh who's joined them, so they've strengthened, but everyone is not, everyone, if you read the media and the bookies and all that sort of stuff, Naas have 7 different players from last year's team. 3 lads were missing. Naas have stepped up, and I think they're a calm, calculated team, and I think they're going to come out here today and do a job.
Yeah. So, Kev, if we're looking at how Naas have improved from this time last year, and Pat has hit on it, and just to simplify it, we're coming in today with a fully fit panel. We've no injuries. We didn't have that in January.
Yeah, but that's it. Like last year, it was all sort of new to us as well. It was the first time we won the championship in 30 years, and sort of after that, everything was a bonus. But this year now, we were expected to win the championship. We did. So we'd be I'm sure the lads will be more focused now on Leinster. They knew it was coming up, so they'll want to give it a good shot this year. But as Pat said there, there's 7 different players. Lads have more experience. We're better prepared this year. Last year with the COVID, everything was thrown up in the air. Now I know it was the same for every team, but we'll be more prepared this year, and we look a better team. As Pat said, we've come through some hard matches, and we haven't been playing as good as we can, but we're still getting through them. So them games will stand to us, hopefully. Yeah.
And this time around we have Alex and Dara and Paul McDermott. They were the 3 big injury concerns when we played against Kilmacud in January.
Yeah, exactly. I think Dara was gone completely. The other 2, they were sort of only maybe 50 or 70%. So
but they didn't play.
No, but even after championship, Alex was picking up a few knocks and that. So look, they seem to be all 100% today. Hopefully James, now he got a knock in the final, but he was training Tuesday, I think, and look, I think we'll give them a lot better go this year. Yeah.
Just another thing we didn't have last year, Pat, we had a change in management. Now Cormac Kirwan, Pádraig Cribb and Kevin Martin came in and did a great job. Obviously Owen Doyle became the manager. Together they did a great job, they did a fantastic job, not taken away from all of that. But this year the management is there, the coaches are there. That's got to count for something today.
Absolutely, and I was going to, I'm glad you raised that point, because That's a massive thing, you know what I mean? You know, they won it on fumes last year, if you know what I mean? They won the county title and they kicked on, and, you know, it was on momentum, okay?
Yeah.
But when you get to the top teams like Kilmacud, you really need guidance. And you're right, the guys did a fantastic job, but they hadn't been with them the whole way through.
Yeah.
Kevin and Joe and the team have been with this team. They've been working from day one.
Yeah.
Obviously with a Leinster in mind, and hopefully even further, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing that's a massive tick in the Naas side, you know what I mean, on the pros, you know. Players that weren't playing last year, Dara, Alex, Paul, you know, you got Mark Maguire now in the team, Carl Daly's playing, you know what I mean, and, you know, and Kieran Doyle up front, you know what I mean? These, you know, but the guys that were playing last year are still in the squad, you know what I mean? So they've strengthened. I think Naas have strengthened massively. You know, so.
I think that's fair to say, Kev. Like you mentioned it a lot during our championship games. This Naas panel is way stronger than last year. Even just when you look at the subs that we have, who can't even get into the team.
Yeah, look, as we said many times, there was the whole year. There's 4 or 5, maybe even up to 6 players that played the previous year and played in the final that haven't started. Yeah. So look, it's you know, like these type of matches, a lad could get injured after 5 minutes. So that's where the panel is massive. But as Pat said, like we're just way better prepared this year. Yeah. Like the lads have their game plan from the whole year, whereas last year the manager left and now they tried to stick to it as much as they could, but it was up in the air, you know, and player managers and stuff like that. No. So the lads have their own, like they're working the whole time there, the whole year. So no, but the panel will be massive here today. Look, we're going to need to play as well as we can to beat Kilmacud. We know like the experience Kilmacud have. They were beaten in the final last year, but we are. I think we'll give them a right good go here today.
What about the venue, Kev? Last year in the Leinster final, we played them in Croke Park. Now, none of our lads were afraid of Croke Park. A lot of them have played in Croke Park for the school, for hurling, for the county. But this is a different venue. Do you think this suits us, like Parnell Park? Instead of Croke Park?
I don't know. Like I think Croke Park might suit us better. I know like it's a bigger venue and people say, but like we've more experience. I'm just looking here. It's not very wide. It's tight. It's very tight, and I think
it's like Park.
Well, a wider pitch would suit us with the runners we have and the fitness we have. Like, but look, I'm sure the lads will deal with it. But it does look very narrow here, I have to say. Like it's not. Yeah. But look, we'll see how it goes, yeah.
You were mentioning there, Pat, that Kilmacud have had a recent addition, Shane Walsh, who, you know, whatever you say about the transfer and whatever, and he's a fantastic footballer. I mean, he's an all-star. He could have been named as Player of the Year, only David Clifford stopped him. So he's been an addition to Kilmacud. Like, there's no doubt he's going to add something to this game today.
Without it, I mean, he's just quality. I mean, when you're talking about best players, he's in that group, you know what I mean? And he is a phenomenal player to watch. You know, unfortunately, I'm a Roscommon man. I've seen him giving us a bit of trimming the odd time. You know what I mean? So look, I was hoping we'd see him this earlier, but you know, he's a phenomenal athlete, left and right foot. You know what I mean? He's speed. Look, I think if we contain him to say 3 or 4 points, that'll be a great result. You know what I mean? Because he's going to score. You know what I mean? This same as Clifford would. You know what I mean? It's how do we deal with the rest of them? We had to stop the ball getting into him and let him roam and whatever. But I think if Naas can keep him curtailed, look at the rest of Kilmacud is a great team. There's no two ways. They should have won the All-Ireland last year, in my opinion. You know, but they didn't. They'll be looking to bounce back again this year. Hopefully they're underestimating us.
Kev, just on the conditions today, the rain is coming down, the pitch is a bit soft, but you know what, we played a game, 4 weeks ago in torrential rain, torrential conditions in Newbridge, so it shouldn't bother the players that much.
No, look, they'll be used to playing them conditions, as you said. The final there, one thing that came out of that final was the ball handling was excellent by Naas in the bad conditions. Playing that day, like they were dropping balls, hopefully, like if that does, like you're going to, when we get possession today, like against the likes of Kilmacud, you're going to have to try and keep the ball because if in these matches, if you give it away, it'll be go down. It could be a score, like. So it's vital that we keep good ball possession when we do get it, and just work it through. Don't panic. Like try and keep the ball and work it up for scores.
Pat, just looking at Kilmacud, even in the county final against Nafina, like you could mention quite a good few players that they have, but 2 players in particular that kind of stood out for me. And I remember them playing just as well back in January, where Craig Diaz and Ben Shovlin in midfield. They're 2 really good midfielders who can score, both scored in the county final. They're very mobile, very strong. we'd pride ourselves in having an equally good midfield, but there should be some battle today.
Yeah, that will be a battle. I mean, Craig Diaz, ex-Dublin player, you know what I mean? He's been around the block a bit. He's a good footballer, a really good athlete, up and down, shoveling the same, you know what I mean? And they can score, they can hurt you. One thing that Kevin says, you give them the ball, they'll keep it. You know what I mean? So we have to be economical with the ball, and we have to, listen, the team that makes the least amount of mistakes today in this weather, hopefully it'll blow over, will probably come out on top, you know what I mean? But they're a good middle third team, if you know what I mean. And last year Fox on the half forward line, he was very good, you know what I mean?
He did a lot of damage to us last. He scored quite a few points.
He did, yeah, and he dropped off and he picked up the ball and he contained it and he ran with it. He's a strong player, but that middle third would be good.
You mentioned Craig Diaz, who won an All-Ireland. Now there's another All-Ireland winner out here, Rory O'Carroll, an All-Star as well. Is it likely that he'll, I know he's normally centre back, number 6 or whatever, is it likely that he'll mark Dara?
I don't know. That's probably will do. You know what I mean? But they tend to keep that diamond in the middle there. Half forward, centre half back, and the two midfielders. They'll try and keep it strong there. He may stay on the 40. Look at. I mean, if he does, Dara's, he's an inter-county footballer. A great footballer, and he'll relish it. So I don't think he'll be. I think he's got his match with Dara. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So hopefully anyway.
So from Kilmacud's point of view, Kev, if we're looking at Shane Walsh and how you contain him or what tactic you use on them, I mean, he doesn't play inside much. He comes out an awful lot, doesn't he?
Yeah, he sort of roams around. He's that good of a footballer. He's good. Like, not only can he score, he can give balls in from 40 yards out, like for goals and things like that. So look, he's probably allowed to do what he wants. He'll roam in and out. They're not telling him to stay in.
So Naas should have just one guy on him all the time.
Well, look, you'd have to like the likes of Owen Doyle or
would they double up on him?
I'm sure when he gets the ball, they'll be told to double up on him. But like, in terms of when it's going in, like if you double up, there's always another lad free. But like, I'm sure as soon as he gets the ball inside, you'll see Dale or Brian Byrne or someone doubling up on him if Dyler's on him. But as we said, like you won't. You'll only try and limit him. You won't stop him from scoring. He's that good of a player. Like
we won't know Naas's tactic with Shane Walsh till the whistle goes. Correct, So it could be Owen Doyle, it could be Mark Maguire.
Could be Mark Maguire, could be Carl Daly, could be. I mean, look, I think they'll probably do is. I don't think they'll put a man marker on him. I think they'll pick him up in his zone. So there'll be a +1 always looking out for it, if you know what I mean. So Doyle or Brian Byrne or whatever.
Which kind of suits Brian Byrne in a way, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. No, he's been sensational all year. I mean, massively underrated, in my opinion. I think he will be the one off and basically just sweeping up, maybe with Doyle in front of him a bit, but I think they'll pass him on to the nearest guy, if you know what I mean, because he will rove. He just goes roving. So I don't know. They may stick Mark on Mordela and just go follow him wherever he goes. The old, if he goes to the toilet, follow him. You know what I mean? But it's hard to know. I would think they wouldn't do that, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah, talking to someone during the week, Kevin, they made a really good point that when all the talk is about Shane Walsh for them, Derek Kirwan for us, we've guys like Kieran Doyle who could just turn around today and score 3 or 4 points.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, look.
Or Eamon Callaghan, or Dermot Hanifin.
Yeah, like I know we do, like obviously everyone always talks about the team's main players, but very often you often see other lads like last year as well. There, Tom Fox got man of the match in the final. There wasn't much talk about him before the match. He had a great game, got man of the match. But like, look, both teams have players all over the pitch that can just turn up and turn it on at the time and put in a man of the match performance. But
just on like points and whatever. In Croke Park last year, we had Dermot Hanifin, even Eamon Callaghan, Tom Brown shooting from distance and balls going wide. And do you think that was last year a bit of nerves? Leinster final, Croke Park. I suppose the question I'm asking is, I don't think we're likely to do that today.
No, look, as we said, we were sort of in bonus territory last year when we after winning the championship, and it was new to us. Like a lot of them players hadn't played in Croke Park, only Eamon and a few county lads. So like maybe the occasion got to us last year in Croke Park, and there was times where like we seem to be recycling the ball better this year and keeping it, and rather than shooting from the wrong positions, we're working it back across and we're more patient. Like, so look, as we said, that's what the management team have been with them all year. They're drilling that into them. So we've been doing that all year. But as we said, it's another massive step up here again today. Like with Kilmacud, like we all know the experience to have. Like, so look, we'll have to perform very well today. Hopefully we can keep the ball and give them a good shot.
Yeah. So for Naas to win today, Pat, that's going to be a shock. It's going to be one of the shocks of the weekend. We all want Naas to win, but we need an awful lot to go right here. And like, there was a big shock last night in Ulster. Crossmidland were put out by Ballybay. There was a big shock in the Cork final a couple of weeks ago. Finbars were unbackable, yet Nemo bet them. But let's be honest, it would be a shock if we won today.
Yeah, it would be a shock. I mean, I think everyone would go, wow, Naas beat or Kilmacud got beaten or get beaten. I don't know. I mean, look at Naas.
I mean, I know the players and the manager are preparing to win.
Yes,
I'm not doubting them. I'm not doubting them at all.
It would be a shock.
But it would send shockwaves throughout Ireland. Wow, Naas have arrived.
Yeah, correct. I mean, look at the 1-4 on to win today, Kilmacud. You know, Naas are 7-2 or 4-1, whatever. It would be a shockwave. You know what I mean? No one is expecting Naas to win outside Naas, you know what I mean, except the inner team and the management, you know, and that's great, you know what I mean, they've nothing, you know, there's no pressure, you know what I mean. Going back to the Sarsfields game last year, it was the exact same thing, you know. Sarsfields were hot odds on favourite, you know what I mean. No one gave Naas a prayer, as Tommy Callan said. In all probability, they Sarsfields should win. That's the same today. In all probability, Kilmacud should win, you know, on paper. Football is not played on paper, it's played on a pitch, and I think, well, look, things have to go right. You need a bit of luck in every competition, in every match. You know, a bounce of the ball, you know, whatever. You know, it's going to be wet and slippy. If Naas play as well as they did in the conditions against Clane here today, and one thing against Clane and against Selbridge, they were very, very patient.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They got the ball, they weren't in a rush, they basically were economical with it, worked the score and got the score, okay? You know, the key thing for Naas today is they can't let Kilmacud get in front of them too much.
Yeah.
Okay, because they'll just shut up shop. You know what I mean? So I think they're aware of that, and hopefully they got a game plan to deal with it. You know, so
one of the things about the final last year, Kev, was Kilmacud really strangled our kickouts, and you know, Jack Rogers had a great year, but he found himself in trouble where to drive that ball in Croke Park. They really were tight on our kickouts, weren't they?
Yeah, look, the push right up in this, there was no options for the kick out. He sort of had to go long, then he kicked, I think, one or two went over the line. Look, he's
a great keeper, but he was just under big pressure.
Yeah, look, he hadn't really dealt with that in before that in the championship. The other teams hadn't pushed up. Look, that's what I'm saying. The other teams we played earlier on in the stages weren't as good as quality as Kilmacud, but look, I know it would be a shock for a lot of people for Naas to win here today, but as we know, and as Pat said, the inner circle with the lads, a lot of people don't know the players we were missing last year. With the full year with the management, like I wouldn't be too shocked if we won here today, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be now. I'm not just saying it, but we're in a lot better position this year. But as Pat mentioned, a good point there as well, we can't let these get on top of us too much. Like if they go a few points ahead of us, it'll be very difficult to. Like, we need to sort of try and stay in the game, and be in the game in the last 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have a great chance then.
Yeah. If that was an aspect of the game last year, Kilmacud, a top quality, they're a step up. They're not going to let you kick the ball out and find a man. But we've become very good at that ourselves, haven't we? Dealing with the opposition kick out.
Yeah, absolutely. You go back to the Sarsfield game, we're down 13 men and we pushed up on their kick out, you know, and strangled them. You know, it's something that it's evolved in the team, you know what I mean? They know how to match teams up. So with the management or the team itself, they've done their homework on the opposition. I'm assuming they've done the same thing today, you know what I mean? You know, they seem to be very diligent, you know, and prepared. But yeah, look, going back to last year, I mean, look, in the first half we had a goal chance and we kicked a couple of wides that were bad, and we went in level, I think, at half time, and basically they just strangled us in the second half, and we hadn't the bodies to come on. We bring in younger lads. We didn't have the bench. You know, so you have the bench this year. You know what I mean? You know, if you look at that bench, you've got young Sean Hannafin, you've got Kevin Cummins, you've got Steins, you have Jack Cleary, Sean Cullen. You know, they're 5 lads that are good players, big lads.
Like, there's 7 or 8 options there, like this year that wasn't there last year. Like, I'm nearly sure did young Mark Maguire only come on last year in that final? Did he?
He was part of the panel.
I don't think he played.
No, he didn't come on. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like the likes of him were brought up last year with all the injuries. Jack McKevitt, exactly. We're in a better position. But look, you can talk about being in a better position. You need to go out and actually do it. So, but like we've more experience. This year we're handling the ball better. The game plan's better. So, look, we'll see how it goes.
Sinna Kerwin and Niascar agus pas glóta isteach tá seansa go bit a buinte buise agus tá ceann sin seolta har an trasnan well bhí seans ar chúlach go bhín sin tá sé fáilte Tom Brown.
Yeah, Anna Glúiseach tan sin ó Naas na rí croisigh beag an in spás agus bei Brown a for an chance la chance cool Bader Anna Kilmacud an sin ó Ferris agus an obair ríseo
Insa all dom féin Walsh leis an ceann íseal fad na talún in sin chofada le Jones agus Aidan Jones héis na fórne a haring sa chóscór puinte das ó Jones hí na dó inis fáte aige I lugsa an kick fast all in chuntusa agus Mark in sin ag Shane Cunningham ach pas glóta an machas amach a bhí in sin ó Shane Horan agus seansanis ag an gatín Cunningham near Flagsha second in ceann sin seolta go hall in Haran trasna aige
agus
chun a haringt Gober Rob ceann sin seolta go hall in Haran trasna ní kick éis go bhí in sin an wa ó Cliffe bra oscailt sa chárá go dtí seo ní le nimh ná ein jaar mór san immert agus an isis an nimmer cuis céimna tógin sin ag Cathal Daly agus an chick sér tógi sciopí Darragh Mullen ní seasin angach well cé a chiredacha ní acama le a tarnú hána Darragh Mullen chunig sé ná an chúlbáir sa maile agus cool ag Kilmacud na Crokes.
Dochreid an sin Cathal Daly ceap sé go sé dhéanamh an rud ceartach sé líróid síos ar an orlar bhí Darragh Mullen na smaoine an na tapí an sin
Walsh Our Coán ar na postí glórhar sin puinte glóta fáte an sin ag Shane Walsh.
Bhí béc an sin as ceann de chusantóirí Naas na rí gra sé imime ar fóréal, but de chas an líróid sin le linn an turas chuig an cúl Har an trasan an céad líróid a bhfuil fáite ag sé máilt go dtí sus a clé agus Har an trasnan.
Tí chead a chluife a d'imir se a gríomh lá clia rih chluife an léinneomh. Shane Walsh agus an ceann sin Har an trasna ag Shane Walsh chan na muir cool písa casúil ar chéile ach ar eis go dtí Byrne. Chud a sásta an fella ágal ach si a Byrne sin rúthar má an isio Alex Byrne de scórála ag Alex Byrne asta sé sin go hálan ar fad ó Alex Byrne scór an lé ó híh Naas na Ríde scór bhí testal agus an té imrín go hiidir chundé a fuda ag Paddy le Paul ach a seach sa lád ar ís go dtí Alex Byrne puinte bra a bháin fáte aige agus an is an darna ceann fáte aige agus díach an os an ceann darnach tríd an lár Har an trasna.
Ja, tá sé cá láidir sin ach tá sé tridim siirtíh hir den líróid tá sé tuairt don lína lechúil timp Leinster Park ach nuair aimsí sé an líróid an
coid. Si a Cathal Daly go dtí McDermott. Ní a fásta seach a glyfa seo, is más féidir leis an líróid le chuir seach tá deisní bhístéin sin agus an dána úsáidí ag Kieran Doyle an líróid chuir a Har an trasna sin scór fórne má.
Well, luamar an front an sí be Cilín ó séáil an líróid na Crokes an sin agus tíhtíad a cruúig second bhí an líróid an tíhheile an Farc agus é a chur leis chun é seola.
Tí hart ar Leinster Park. Tom Brown isteach an seo go dtí Callahan sin go hálan. Go hálan ar fad lena chitóg bhí breúir bhí ceann chu mú ag písachin agus a bhuitin na súl ní lech puinte an.
Well, tá tú glóra cinreach tháinig sé ag glóra an líróid sin is go maithe go bhfuil sé chrín ó na chuid kickin na deige ná seo sé Har an trasan agus é
O'Brien isteach go má go dtí Diaz tá de scórála an seo ag Diaz a tuairt faoi cóla orachar go chúl fáte ag Craig Diaz go hiiteach ar fad agus tá na Crokes ceanna puinte an cín.
Yeah, anna fás ó Dan O'Brien chun Diaz a tuairt isteach san immert an sin doscail an spásús agus anna chréic isteach sa líon dan an sin seans ar bitheg an cúl baire Rivis
Walsh cá puinte fáte aige go dtí seo I chéad iirecht ón talla inniuh. Neart dairde leis a gic ó Walsh an cinne ceart chuir sé ceann na mú ónna chud láh I písachin chuir sé lá an fellir a scrá agus sin nó Kilmacud a glyfa go dtí seo agus bhfuil de scórála eile acu agus tá ceann sin seolta go hálan Har an trasna an puinte glóta eile agus fáte ag Cunningham an captain. Líróid daire leis si a Byrne trasna Park tá de go an seo le Brown Kerwin scór a tastáil Darragh Kerwin ar a gitóg faoi bhrú agus tá ceann sin seolta go das Har an trasna ag Darragh Kerwin agus sin in chéad cheann na neamh.
ar raibh an bailach a chasan sé seach ó tapí ar chusclé chun é seola Har an trasan na céadú go bhfuil sé feicá gin ó héh
tá si dá úsáid go hána bhá.
Ein déim le a ganna pass an Cunningham an Tom sin hánig bulan amach chun é a buchan seans an Mark agus Shoulder and Trasnan Shingenta Ega Creen on a kicking and pass Muralu.
All right, Pa, half time. Look, we're 6 points down. We've got a mountain to climb in the second half.
Yeah, look at goals win games, and they got 2 killer goals. I mean, the first one, look at. It's one of them goals that we very rarely give away. Mistake like that, overcarried, and then Luke was out of goals. Look at it, they dust themselves down and they come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bit of a charge, come back within a point or maybe level, and then just that goal. Then it was a good goal, in fairness. But look at Naas is still there. There's the 2 scores in it. There are goals in the 6 points, but they just need to keep chipping away at it. Keep chipping away. They have our inside forward line hasn't got going yet. You know what I mean? In fact, all of our forwards, I say, really haven't got going great yet. But yeah, they're dangerous though. Yeah. They're a dangerous team.
The first goal was just uncharacteristic error from probably one of our best and most consistent players all year. Yeah. But as you say, they did rally again, came at Kilmacud again. So hopefully, they just need to keep going.
Yeah, no, just look at 6 points down. Yeah. There's a little bit of a breeze. There was a little bit of breeze into this end. Not much to write home about, but they just got to keep chipping away. Look at the belief, the resolute, the character they've shown all year. They've been up against the wall. Go again, just take it every sort of time. Look at a goal could change this game massively. If we get a goal, we're back in it. It's one kick of the game. You know what I mean? There's only two kicks in it. You know what I mean? Now they are 2 goals, but just keep going. Keep going.
Kev, there are positives though for us. We're playing well when we attack. When we run at them, space opens up.
Yeah, Alex is having a great game, I think, in midfield there. Him and Paddy Mack and Brian Byrne at times, they're the only ones really breaking the line. I think we need to do that more. Yeah, Dyler came forward, but Alex is really driving it on there. From the throw in there to start, he went through, won a free. He was unlucky there actually, up there. It looked like a free. Now, I didn't really see it. They actually got the goal off that. Alex went through, just as he went to turn, there was 2 or 3 lads pulling over him. He was given frees earlier on for that, but they actually got the goal off that. Look, it was a great finish right into the top corner. But they got a run on us. I think we were 4 or 5 down, and we came back brilliant. We scored 3 or 4 in a row, and we got it back within a point. But then, in the space of a minute, we were 5 points down again. That's the type of team they are. But Pat said there, we didn't get going yet in the forwards. There's no ball coming into them. Yeah. They're smothering us, as you pointed out as well, Tom, in the kickouts. They're pushing right up in us. That's where we're going maybe just back and across. I know we're trying to hold on to the ball, but at some stage, someone's going to have to break the line like Alex was doing. Just to cause an overlap, or else they're just going to bottle us in again like they've been doing. But look, we came back already when we were down. It'd be easy to drop the heads. It just proves that Naas, they're a good team. We've good experience. We come back to winning a point. A lot of other teams would have just dropped their head there. But we need a great start here now. We do with the second half now.
Well, from a Kilmacud point of view, they obviously have looked at Naas a lot, because there's been quite a few cynical fouls where Kilmacud are stopping us here, fouling us here. 2 yellow cards dished out already for cynical fouls. So Kilmacud don't want Naas running at them.
No, as you said, they would have been looking at matches with Paddy Mack and Tom Brown and lads coming forward. So they're just.
Craig Diaz could have a yellow as well for holding on to people and stalling us.
Yeah, they're cute. That's what I mean. They're sort of pulling and letting go, and rather than the linesman, in fairness to him, he flagged one of it there and gave a lad a yellow. He was after doing it 2 or 3 times, but he seems to be letting it go 1 minute, and then the next time it's not. But look, it's going to be very tough here now. All right, 6 point lead, but we can still do it. We still do it. I think if we could get a goal, we got through. I think we can get through. Tom Brown got through, and Kieran Doyle got through. It was the right option at the time.
They did the right thing, taking the point.
Yeah, that's it. But look, we come back. We might need a goal, but I wouldn't give up yet.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about the midfield, Alex and James versus Craig Diaz and Ben Shovlin, and I'd say the 2 boys are on top for us.
Yeah, I think we're on top of midfield. I agree with Kevin there. Alex having a great game. He's driving forward. He's looking for the ball and he's driving forward. James is getting into the game more. He's got a couple of nice. We're on top there, okay. But if you look at our forwards, we've only scored 2: Kieran Doyle and Lepper. Okay. Yeah. The other 4 lads haven't really been on it, if you know what I mean. Now, I've been looking at them a little bit. They're 5 and they're 7 are coming forward quite a bit as well, if you know what I mean. And they're causing that overload. We're obviously dropping back into a shape, but they are causing us problems.
I mean, Dara's man, the number 2, isn't afraid to bring Dara all the way up here.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and you know,
that guy actually scores. He's a scorer himself.
Yeah, he's a good player. I mean, look, we just need to get Dara on the ball, you know what I mean, and see if he can open stuff up, you know. He's been starved of possession really at the moment. But look at, you know, they'll be talking inside saying, look, we'll just go back to the well again. Let's go one score at a time, win the second half. You know, all them adages that you bring out, the cliches. You know, look, if you win the second half, then that deficit's down to whatever. You know what I mean? So.
I mean, our lads don't. The heads haven't gone down.
No.
They're still determined. They're still.
You know, they haven't. They went back after they let the goal in. They scored a point. Now look, they've got a couple. Look, honestly, and I don't like picking out referees, but he's given them some cheap frees. You know what I mean? He gave one against Mark Maguire here, and I didn't think he touched it on the ground. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I was right there, and he got his foot under it. Mm-hmm. You know. There's the breaks. That's the luck you need. We just need to keep going, keep doing it. You're right. We're doing okay, and they're letting us have it here. But when Doyler, Byrne, Paddy Mack is double teamed. Every time he gets the ball, they're on him. Okay, we need the likes of Paul, Brian Kane to come onto the ball and drive forward as well. If you know what I mean, that's what we need a little bit. And Dermot's starting to get into the game a little bit now. You know, a couple of won a ball back here, worked hard and got it back. We need to transition quicker.
Yeah. Would you be afraid, Kev, from Kilmacud? Should be All-Ireland champions, they're reigning Leinster champions, they're 6 points ahead. They could easily say, we're just going to sit back and you won't break us down.
Yeah, that's the problem when you like, the better teams and the style that these play. They keep it, like you can see them here. They're only maybe 30 or 40 yards out, and they'll keep passing it around until it's gone to the right man, and then he'll pop it over. Like, they're very experienced. That's the problem you might have now. They might sit back now, but look, if they do that, it might open up maybe a bit more for us for shooting out from distance. The number four is causing terrible damage coming forward. It's like he's a free rein. He's just coming forward, causing overlaps. Like, but I think that the 2 or 3 scores and that little spell we have for the 10 minutes is when Doyler broke forward, Alex broke forward, Brian Byrne come down the line. Like, I think we just need to just start going at them, because if we hold on much longer, if they get a few more scores, it'll be gone. We won't get it back. So we just need to go for it. Like, you know what I mean? We're only here for today. Just go for it. Give it everything we have.
But you still have to be patient. Like, you can't just have lads like charging forward.
No.
Like, people might be looking at the stand thinking, come on.
Yeah.
But you have to wait till the gaps are there, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but rather than coming sideways more, like you get away with it against the sort of weaker teams. You know what I mean? Like earlier on the year, but like against these, like at some point, like we need, like what Alex and the lads are doing, just break forward and just give it a go. Try and get it into the forwards quicker, maybe. Yeah, look,
there is a 6 point gap there, Pat, but you'd have to be fairly impressed with Naas as a team, despite being behind. They look good, they look to have quality, they look to be capable. They're just behind by 6 points. That's the only problem here.
Yeah, no, exactly. Look at 2 goals. I mean, if we you know, you're right. Look at, they're going toe for toe with them. I mean, look at, they've got the scores at critical times. You know, look, we just got to keep chipping away and going at it. You know, and I think the next 30 minutes is going to
try and stay in it.
Absolutely, just stay in it. You know what I mean? You know, it looks like they've got a couple.
So even looking at the bench there, you could have the likes of Jack McKevy. You said there's changes. Have you?
Jack Cleary's in.
Jack Cleary is on for one, and look, we'll let this game go ahead, and hopefully we'll come out the right side of our results. Thanks.
And Ashkazee Diaz, Carol and Nichantach, Croatian and Sposs, the Shane Walsh and Chushiachto Walsh. Walsh at a Gitog. Agus tá cean sin seolta go hálan Haran Trastan. Kenny tá deiscórála eile beidir acu. Ní rud eistrí amach faoi dhearra agus Haran Trastan go dá so Shane Horan. D'oibre siad an cean sin fíor cliste cnéachnaí ag Shane Horan.
Yeah, raibh san sin beidir go leis seans cúlach by Coolini tábhat go nó ar maith nóhan ag an státe siúd na Crokie gur an chlórans.
Haríis am chusin tríán ag déas ag dhearra agus Kerwin leis an lehans agus an deis tapia ag Dara Kerwin agus an chéad scór gan darni le don Naas na rí.
Yeah, agus a bhd níos fear a gúsáid an líorad an Tom Shin. Cá siad an líorad a hort luú go Kieran míar dias an sin chuir sé love Lloyd restrain sin chun an líorad a bucan tarnash ach genta go maith Kerwin an scór.
Cushiacht Allen agus witin na zúil ar a lína fichi hí an trasna Shanson seo ar chúl agus an cean ní seo agus the seas a chúl ó Hugh Kenny. Croí go hálan ag magá an cnéachnaí ag Hugh Kenny agus beitir hanahéin gur bin bula marfach na muice.
Yeah, Jaitar se bheith anna rúthar an sin nó Killian around Andrew McGowan.
Tas muoine tuairt faoi scór a chucra se beidir sábháil sa go dtí Kerwin. Éilíonn sé himpeall ar a géile córic amach. Kerwin Goliolio Iron de leis an giction ó Kerwin sin pointe go téits go. Tá nachhuinig a bhar se tá na talanege. Trí king of Wincy fáilte Kerwin.
Yeah, ord score ó Kerwin an sin hospan sé Lloydach freisin chun an cosantóra chorhai an tam sin an Lloydach sin tá se coltábhat a gan level seo. Tá
Goliolio Murray dulchan Keen se da Dara Kerwin. Tá pointe all in fáilte ag trí king fad an féidir leis Curleo. Agus Mallinger féidir fá an líród go dtí Kerwin agus beidir go deise.
Well, tá sé hospant níos fearr sa dara lehan seo lurag an líród agus an tá sé ag aimsú na scór na freisin. Cé go abíos atá sé chas ar an cosclé an sin chun é seo le ar an trasant. Tá fuls beocht.
Fada ag Ferris, úte ag Shane Walsh agus astriach an King go Hall go dtí Cunningham. Agus tá deiscór eile acu an seo. Agus tá an líród seolta go das. Har an trasna an siimplí an éisca ag Aidan Jones.
Yeah, on the spot and
Johnny Shalella Fox trasna Parka. Deiscór ag Cunningham Tasha Shingahal score fórne ma eile. Ítach a gamsú duine cín sa spás agus an ceann sin críochna go hálinn ag captain Shane Cunningham.
Well, an beag an í luas a chur Shane Walsh leis an glúiseach sin cro sé an spás de Cunningham a bhfuil treéis cléad an scoim mar taniu den na chrócaí.
Níor amach an iscatí Burke. Byrne will score a tíocht an seo. Tá an líród seolta har an trasna ag Alex Byrne for couple of points ama in St Céadla. Fox agus an isbhfuil deis eile ag Cunningham. Agus Shane Cunningham tuairt tuspántas ítach an seo an neomhóid cicáilite sin chead cín go faoinsa.
Yeah, sin a raibh nó brenin tuair an chlár an seo tá Shane Walsh anam le tusnú tíbhiste an rud a rinne siad dag siad Shane Walsh a muoch chuir siad Cunningham ó scór an cool agus leis an pass bróg sin.
Get gohfuil cool a tastal go géir wóhabach an féidir le cool a hebrú tá se chu deochar feldíonnta an sin cínta an bhaintáiste le Naas na Ré agus faoi ar atá an líróid sin seolta har an trasna agus d'oibre siad féar chrua agus éimeann Callahan í chríochna an.
Yeah, agus cé go bhfuil sé má dómh an scór aimseo agus feabhil genta an sin ag McGowan tá cool ag tastal chun beag an in beocht nó spraga chur a raise seach sa foran ní dól.
Chuigúil se tugáil chud cuscéim na siar go se chun lasca a thuairs go líróid an seo. Tá sé tuairt faoi scór agus tá an líróid chur har an trasna an Carcolóir ag Luke Mullins a fágáil 8 pointse. Cuine seach an iscatí ó Carroll agus Fox agus sin pointse glóte eile fáte Kilmacud in the Crokes Tom Fox go leor scór ní fórne maithe fáte acuinniu.
Yeah, agus sin a luair mar just an bailach go bhfuil scapan na scór an pass sin tá sé anna happy ó láb a Carroll go dtí.
Ashley gets ascadí Steins agus pointse ma fáte ag Brian Steins é sé héart na seachas in action.
Beidir an scóras fear ó fór Naas na Ré aniu an glúiseach tapí imráir a teachtón grúlan an tam ar fáil anna chríochar an trasna cínte tá cúil ag tastal níl éon different líróid. Má tá spás agus duine ag an os de cór tá sé de chur an bróg leis an líróid a tuairt a pass a rá a tuairt seans de duine ag an scór a aimsú.
Agus clacht a scórála do Cian O'Connor sin ar Madam Cú. Selina na chúil go Kilmacud a nedach sétí ag Anthony Nolan agus an bhartíanta ag Champini chuige Lion. Greg Diaz le cúil anha in.
Yeah, look, the end of the season here, I'm with Pat Byrne and Padraig McManus. Padraig, first of all, a disappointment today, but overall it's been a great season, great 2 years. Disappointing to go out to Leinster, but an awful lot to be proud of with this team.
Yeah, and you know we've had a great run, and hopefully it's only really getting starting. Yeah. They've had 2 great years. I mean, Kilmacud are probably the best club team in the country, and they've strengthened it with the addition of the transfer they got in. Yeah. And like to beat them, you'd have to say we would have had to be at our best. Yeah. To beat them. Now we had a few great performances, not just because Pat is here, but Alex really turned it on today. Had a brilliant game, and but like. You know, we were playing at a different level today than we were playing in the Leinster Championship, and I think we were unlucky with the goal in the first half. I thought, you know, we're not allowed to say anything about referees really anymore, but I thought he was poor and in some of his decision making. But anyway, apart from that, for us to win, we would have had to be absolutely on top of our game. And I think if you looked at the way they take their chances, you know, they don't delay, they don't hesitate, and they straight over the bar. And I think we were probably a little bit less sharp in that regard. But I mean, I'm only, we're only picking things against like a great team that we have. They've given us great times, and we just wasn't our day today.
But on that with Kilmacud, like, perspective is needed, because Kilmacud have been on the road many years. Is it fair to say that we're on the start of our journey, and they've been on that road for a good few years now?
Yeah, and if you look at the teams even physically, they are a bit older, a bit stronger.
Yeah.
Physically stronger. They've been, on the road for a while in this championship. Everyone thought they would go on after beating us in the Leinster final last year and win. They probably should have, but anyway, they didn't play till the end. Yeah. And they will be hot favourites to win it again this year. And they are, overall across the team, probably an average of 3 or 4 years older and physically stronger than our guys. Yeah. So you're right. I mean, our guys, we've a very young team.
Yeah.
And great experience for them. And we're looking forward to better days.
Yeah, hopefully. Just despite losing by 9 points, we the team, there was some great performances. Padraig mentioned Alex, but the team kept going and just never gave up. And there was a different Naas team than 10 months ago.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, if you're benchmarking yourselves this time last year or the last game, we scored 14 points against probably should have been the All-Ireland champions, probably could become this year. There's a lot of football to be played, of course. I'd have taken 14 points coming in today. If you said we'd have 14 points scored, you'd probably win most winter games like that. But you're right, look, right to the end, Brian Byrne, Alex Doyler, kept running. James Burke came into the game, Dara came into the game. They never laid down, okay? And they kept going. Goals win games. Unfortunately, we conceded 3, which we don't normally do. There were, one was on luck, lapse of concentration, whatever you want to call it. Thought it was. I didn't think he overcarried in the first place. You know what I mean, to give the free. But and then they got two decent goals. One on the third one was a counter-attack one, which is well taken. But look at the keeper made a couple of saves. One snapshot against Leper. We'd have nicked one in. There wasn't an awful lot in. We've stepped forward, and to Padraig's point, they are physically stronger than us. You can see them. The strength and condition is about 3 years ahead of us. Okay, now hopefully our lads will stay together, a young team, build and strengthen, and look at and go again. You know what? They've got a taste for this. No one in Naas ever knew about Leinster, football. They got a taste of it. They want to go again, and I think they'll want to go 3-peat in Kildare and go another crack at this time next year. And look, they've got the tools, they've got the players, and look at, I think they've got a great management team. So hopefully they'll just dust themselves down, lick their wounds a little bit, and regroup. And hopefully 2023 will be. Naas na Riaboo.
3 in a row.
Yeah, that would be great, Padraig, wouldn't it? Yeah. And you can't take anything for granted. The Kildare Championship, you have to win that first, and there are lots of other teams there. But irrespective of what happens next year in the immediate future, the signs are really good. As Pat was saying, a young team that are building or focused, and there will be more championships, hopefully, and another crack at Leinster in the future.
Well, I think that has to be the aspiration for us. We've reached a level now where, we've won Kildare twice. There's no reason if the fellas develop on and improve. They have to improve all the time, that we can't win 3 in a row and be that year stronger and better to have another crack at Leinster next year.
Here with two big supporters of Naas Football Club, Fionnuala McManus and Teresa Callahan. I was just saying to Padraig and to Pat Byrne there, look, it's the end of the line this year, but what an amazing 2 years, and so much to be proud of with this team, isn't it, Teresa?
Yeah, absolutely. They've really done us proud last year and again this year, and had some hard matches in the championship, and to win the second 2 in a row, it's just marvellous, and today wasn't their day, but we're very proud of them, very proud of them all.
Fionnuala, just Kilmacud Crokes were probably just a bit too far this year. Like, you have to say they were the better team.
Yeah, it was the goals though. The goals get in. Yeah. But they did well against them. We had got a couple of goals in ourselves. We would have been doing okay.
Yeah, I felt that we did a little bit better than we did last year against them.
We did.
So we're closing the gap at least.
Yeah. But it was great to get this far anyway. It was. We're following for years, and we thought we never see this day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that today, Teresa. Like, with Eamon, when we were trying to win the intermediate championship, and very few supporters going to matches, and yet you have a huge crowd here in Parnell Park. It's fabulous.
A terrific crowd. I think we had more supporters than Kilmacud Kilmacud there tonight, and the crowd kind of lifted them and everything, you know. But I said, we're a long time on the road now with Eamon anyway, you know. Pride is back in the jersey in Naas, you know what I mean, and you know, the whole town, I think, has got behind them, you know, and it's terrific, you know what I mean. And I think there's more in them.
Hopefully,
you know,
and hopefully next year.
Next year, please God,
Okay, thanks, Vanilla. Thanks, Teresa. Thanks. Just here with Shane Walsh, Kilmacud Crokes. First of all, Shane, congratulations. Nice victory in the first round of the Leinster Championship. How's it been for you coming to Kilmacud, this new club, new championship?
Look, it's been all good. I suppose pick up county title there 2 weeks ago, and look, we had a tough test today again against Naas, and in fairness, I think the goals kind of were crucial in the game. Like, they gave us a bit of breathing space, because even at one stage, as in the first half, we went 5 up, and Naas, credit to them, like, they came back again and was back with a point in it, but Craig kind of gave us another bit of breathing room, and we just kicked on from there in the second half and kind of kept that, I suppose, kept the Naas at arm's length. So just have to try and work hard now again over the next 2 weeks. So a big test again now against Port Harrington in the semi-final.
To look at Kilmacud playing, you do seem to have a very complete unit that's able to transfer from defence to attack, well able to mind the ball, well able to score, and well able to just close out a game when you need to as well.
Yeah, I think like that they're the important facets of the game, really. Like, it's about game management, and in fairness, like, Naas came with something different again today, and we had to respond to that. But like, that's a testament to the lads, the work that's been going in the last couple of weeks. Everyone's trying to improve every day you go out, like, and we have to learn from past failings and learn from what we did well before, and to bring that into the next game again. And in fairness, the lads, like, everyone, I think we had 8 or 9 different scorers today, and like, that's really important going forward as well. Like, Shane was kicking boomers there, so he must have been out here practicing. But no, in fairness, that's important. All part of the team ethic here, like, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I think also from a Naas point of view and neutrals, there are so many other really talented players in this Kilmacud. I mean, we're mentioning them because we don't know their names. The number 4, the number 7, the number 19, the number 17. You just seem to have quality everywhere. Yeah,
I think that comes back to underage structures and all that. Like, with the lads that are coming through from that, you can see there, like, Andy bombing up the field, setting up a goal there for Hugh. You had Chano there, as I said, kicking a few scores. Lads working from the back. You had Dan O'Brien there, like, charging forward every time. Like, that's what we have in training every night, and like, that competition every night. Like, we always say, like, if we keep bringing ourselves on, like, we can set the bar rather than letting another team set the bar for us, and like, that's what's important. We have to keep driving things on here.
Yeah, when this draw was made, we've won our second county championship. We didn't mind we were drawing Kilmacud because we knew it was a top team, one of the best, and it's always good to face a top team. So listen, Shane, congratulations today, and the best of luck in the future with Kilmacud in the Leinster and All Ireland.
Cheers, thanks very much. Cheers.
James, first of all, hard luck today. Just I suppose on balance you'd have to say that Kilmacud were just a little bit better than us today.
Yeah, no, they were. Probably have to give them credit. They got the two goals in the first half, and that made our lives difficult. There probably wasn't a huge amount between us, I don't think, in the first half, bar the 2 goals. And they're that kind of team that they're good at killing the game off. Yeah. When they do build up that lead, it's hard to claw it back. We kept fighting till the end, but ultimately we left ourselves too much, and credit to them, they did deserve it on the day.
Yeah. I suppose the impressive thing from a Naas point of view is you never gave up. You kept on going, kept on looking for those scores.
Yeah, we did, and we got the few balls in around the square in the second half, and just maybe our luck the way it was. The breaks always seem to fall to them. To be fair to them as well, that's down to them getting back first and getting under the breaking ball. But yeah, maybe on another day, those balls might have broke our way, or a few refereeing decisions might have gone our way. But yeah, no, we kept fighting, but credit to them, they did probably deserve it on the day.
Yeah, despite the scoreline, you looked better competing against them than you did 10 months ago. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think I probably would. There's a few people that have said that now, that although maybe we might have been closer in the scoreline last year, like, we did score, it's a 14 points this year. I don't know what we scored last year. Like, I think we definitely did maybe give a better account of ourselves this year, and show that we are closer and that we are improving, although maybe the scoreline mightn't have showed it. But as I said, those few sucker punch goals were really the difference, and that was it, really. Yeah.
It's going to be, I mean, it's difficult for all the team, everyone involved in the team, just to put this behind them. That's sport, you move on, but you have to put it behind you, because you have another big game. Yourself and Brian are playing Shinrone next Saturday, isn't it?
Next Saturday,
in Newbridge.
In Newbridge, yeah.
So you have to deal with that really quickly now.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone, no one will want to be dwelling on it too much. But I suppose for me and Brian, it is even more important that we bounce back quicker. We'll be back training Tuesday and Thursday with the hurlers, with the intentions of going and beating Shinrone now next Saturday, and and hopefully we can bounce back, and hopefully the whole hurling panel and the whole football panel as well get behind us. And like we had great support there today in Parnell Park, so hopefully now we can get a similar crowd, or hopefully even more, the fact it's closer to home.
Well, it's great.
Great over the line next week and make up somewhat for today's loss.
Yeah, well, look, it's great that it'll be in Newbridge, and I know I'll be there. Loads of people connected with the panel. Naas G8 Club will be there. So wishing yourself, Brian, and all the hurling panel best of luck next Saturday.
Brilliant. Thanks a million, Tom.
Thanks, James.
I appreciate that.
Thanks, James. Thanks a million.